Welcome to The Polished Crown, the podcast where women come to feel empowered, inspired, and celebrated. This is your space to redefine what it means to wear your crown with confidence, grace, and resilience. Each week, we will dive deep into meaningful conversations about self-love, personal growth, and power of community. From navigating careers and relationships to embracing our unique journeys, Polished Crown is here to remind every woman that her story matters and her potential is limitless. Whether you're polishing your crown after a challenge or simply adding a new sparkle, join us for authentic stories, expert advice, and uplifting moments. Let's reign together and celebrate the queen within us all. Your crown is already yours, ladies. Let's make it shine. Hello, everybody. This is Teresa.
Hi, this is Sabrina. Welcome.
Today we have another guest for you.
Special guest.
She's got lots of sparkle to her, so we're going to let her get to it. Gina Almaze.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Gina has a lot of crowns that she wears. We call those crowns. Yeah, we call those crowns here.
Yes.
And the very first one we'd like to talk about is the one that is her passion, that brings her, her lifestyle. Let's just call it that. And she's basically her go-to person that you'd want for any of your marketing needs for internet. But I'm going to let her explain exactly how she can be utilized.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So I own Social Media Advertising Corporation, and that's a company that I started in 2018. And that basically started because I was spending a lot of time on Facebook, and I was answering a lot of people's questions. I'm looking for a chiropractor. Who should I call? I need a plumber. And so I kept recommending people, and I kept having people tell me, like, okay, but when I go to their Facebook page, there's like nothing on their face. Are they even a legitimate business? Are they still in business? Like, how do I find out their phone number? I can't find out anything about them.
People didn't know how to use their Facebook page. They were just like on Facebook.
Right.
Here
So
I
maybe
am.
they probably, like, whenever they built their website. So a web designer sometimes will build a website, and then they'll also build the social media profiles to go with the website. So I have a feeling that that's what happened. And then they just said, okay, well, that's all I need to do. I mean, just like when you put an ad in a magazine or even a billboard on 95, you give the marketing agency your flyer, your advertisement, and then that's it. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
You let the ad do the rest of the work. But social media is different than that. Social media is a constant, living, breathing, changing environment. So if you're not constantly posting and updating, and then when somebody goes to your page, they're not going to know, this page was created in 2018, but hasn't posted anything since 2018. So they must not be in business anymore. Let's move on to the next.
Okay.
The next recommended business, because they posted yesterday. So I know if I call them or if I send their Facebook message or their Facebook page a message, they're going to get it.
Right, because they're still around. And I have to say, I think that a lot of it has to do with a generation of people that are owning those businesses. They come from the marketing agency standpoint, where you did just give them the money and figured it out, and the people just came in the door.
If I'm giving you the money to do the ad, then you're going to do the ad, right? Like, that's what I'm paying you for.
Exactly.
But again, nowadays with social media, there's a lot more to it than that.
Well, and I feel like, too, that it's ever changing. Like, almost every day, I feel like social media is changing or adding to algorithms. And right when I personally think trends. I have it down and I'm like, this is good. Nope, it does something. So having someone like you who knows much more than myself would be a huge asset to a business.
It's my business to read up on these things. Like, it's your business to read up on the trends that are going on in your business, and it's my business to read up on the trends in social media marketing. Right. So, I read blogs every day, and what works for the algorithm this week didn't work last week, and okay, well, the visibility, everybody got. This post got all the kinds of attention 2 weeks ago, but how come a post just like it this week didn't get any attention? Okay. Well,
and let's be honest, you must really like doing that stuff, because nobody wants to go reading blogs and vlogs and be like, oh my God, for what I do with my business, I'm like, I just want to pop popcorn and people come smell it and buy it. I don't,
right.
I don't know if there's a certain smell that they're liking this week. That to me is boring. So kudos to you for being interested in taking that personal interest. And
I mean, Facebook itself interests me. My husband will I'll give him oh my gosh, you got to see this drama that's going on in this Facebook group. And he's like, I don't know how you do it.
I don't know either.
I find it entertaining. This doesn't make me mad. It doesn't it's fun to it's okay, haha. And then we move on.
Well, I know that the hardest part about a business obviously is the financial part for people to say advertising costs this much, but they always want to know what's my return on investment. And I know from being a very long time ago in advertising and working in an advertising agency, if you get a 3% return on your direct marketing, you're doing gangbusters.
Yep.
But you can't tell that with Facebook and stuff.
Right.
So when someone comes to you and they're like, your price is what it is, the value to that, they have to understand, well, you're doing all the work.
Right.
Right.
And they also have to understand that, McDonald's puts a billboard out on I-95 near exit 265, but McDonald's doesn't know how many customers they've gotten back from that billboard. I mean, they really don't. Nobody walks into a McDonald's and says, "Oh yeah, I saw the billboard on I-95." You just
that
have
corporate spent $5,000 on just for 1 month.
Exactly. You just have to look at your numbers and say, okay, well, this month was a busier month than last month, so something we're doing is working, so we're just going to keep doing it. But there's so many factors that go into advertising and just being a successful business. You could be the most popular business on Facebook, or you could have a video on TikTok that goes crazy viral, but not one person has stepped into your store or placed an order because of it. They just like looking at the video. That didn't actually transfer to dollars earned for you. But, when you do it repetitively over and over, then eventually people will come in and say, "Oh, I saw your business. I've seen your business everywhere."
Yes,
they won't even be
true.
able to tell you Facebook.
Yep.
There are some people who either don't realize that it was Facebook, or they've seen it in multiple places, or they've heard it from different sources, or they just don't want to admit that they scroll Facebook all day. It's okay to say, I saw your ad on Facebook, but a lot of people are like, oh, I don't look at those ads on Facebook.
Yeah.
We all look at
For
those
some
ads on
reason,
Facebook.
they are put
It's
on your
okay.
feed for a reason.
Yes.
There's something you're looking at that goes along that lines.
Right.
And along the lines of all the platforms, what do you, first of all, which ones do you work with and not work with? And then for your personal reference to your clients, which ones would you have them focusing on?
I focus in all areas of my life. It's Facebook first, Instagram second, and then if I get really bored or have time, then I'll scroll TikTok. I think for this area that we are in, this little Volusia County, Central Florida, whatever, Facebook does the best. Now, I've had clients in New York, like my realtor client in New York, she gets the most out of Instagram, and she's a realtor, but she's in Long Island, and all the Long Island moms love Instagram because it's photos, it's pretty photos and aesthetics, and
it's quick.
Yes, and that's where they go to for their ideas. I had somebody who said that they get most of their business off of Pinterest. So it really depends on your business, and it depends where you are in the U.S. I mean, the Pinterest one, she made like T-shirts and mugs and that sort of thing, and she did everything off of her website. So it didn't matter if the person was in Alaska or Florida. So Pinterest going out to everywhere in the country,
you have a bigger, broader range of reaching people.
Correct. But if you're hyper localized here in this area, I would say that Facebook is going to give you your most bang for your buck.
Okay. So how many clients do you have outside of this demographic of Volusia County or the state?
3. 3.
Okay.
So not many.
Not many, but
that's, I mean, it's enough for me to.
It's enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's enough.
But 3 grows into 6, grows into 12.
Right,
Grows, you know, you get people that say, hey, I know you don't want to take care of the back office stuff, and I've got this great lady, Gina. She does all this stuff for back office, basically. So that's kind of where we're at with our personal businesses. Like, I just want to do what I want to do.
Yes, and that's most business owners. But, I mean, you know, somebody who does spray tans did not get into the spray tan industry because they liked bookkeeping. No. So, like, it sucks that business owners have to wear so many different hats until they make enough money to be able to afford to outsource it. But that's a double-edged sword because, you know, until you make that much money, but then you have to spend that much money to make that much money.
Reinvest.
Advertising isn't free. But you know, once you hit that spot, then you could focus on the actual part of the job that you love.
Exactly. Well, you actually answered a huge question for me that I've never even asked you, and that was the one about Facebook being the best for this area. Like, every day I question it.
I mean, now if like sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
but you have a younger demographic that you're sometimes that you know
correct,
because you do have like the high schoolers and the college students and stuff. So maybe Instagram is better for that. But I just feel like for this area, everybody is on Facebook.
That's kind of,
everyone. And even people who have Instagram accounts will tell you like, oh, I always forget that I have Instagram. Like they'll go from Facebook to TikTok and forget that they have Instagram.
Yes.
So here's my opinion on Instagram and TikTok, because I feel like they're the same thing. Are you not looking at, you know, like I buy stuff on Instagram, but I'm told, oh, that was on TikTok. I'm like, but I bought on Instagram. Yeah. So to me, the two interchange, and I don't know.
They do, but Meta doesn't like that because Meta owns Instagram. They don't own TikTok. So Instagram used to be just photos, right?
Yeah.
Like, just photos. You know, you go to somebody's page, you see their little grid, you know, and they want to do it aesthetically and stuff. And then TikTok came out with these short-term videos, and everyone hopped off of Instagram and went to TikTok. And Meta, who owns Facebook and Instagram, was like, uh-oh, what do we do? So that's when they came out with Reels. And then they came out with the shop thing, and they came out with Reels to bring people away from TikTok and back to Instagram.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, because these are things that have cleared up for me as a consumer. I'm sure other people listening too, because I'm thinking, okay, yes, I want local reach for my product, but I also want to just get it out there to ship to whoever wants it. And I thought I'd just do that on Instagram. And everyone's like, no, you make so much more. You can get so much more on TikTok. But I'm like, but they're the same. So good to know that they aren't.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like TikTok has a lot, like the younger fan base is all, 15 to 20-year-olds, even younger. They're all on TikTok because, I think like the college students kind of like Instagram, and then like moms and grandmas like Facebook. But even like the 40-year-old suburban moms, they went to TikTok during COVID because they had nothing else to do. Like their job sent them home. So they just started swiping on TikTok, and then all of a sudden that's when TikTok really blew up.
Yes. And they started becoming like millionaires from silly things on TikTok.
Yeah. Yep. So if you have a client that comes to you and says, I want you to do my social media and this is my business, and you tell them, do you give them advice on Facebook and Instagram? Is that part of your package, or you just strictly focus on Facebook?
I will do, as long as they can connect their pages. See, the problem with Instagram is you can only log into like 5 Instagram accounts on your phone. There's a hack that allows you to log into like 9, but it's still, you have to like connect all your businesses, and then that means that their business is connected to this other business, and if they log into it, then they see this other business that they're not even a part of, and then they like start to freak out, like, how come I can see all their stuff? Can they see all my stuff? So, but there's the Business Suite app, like the Meta Business Suite app, that if your Instagram and your Facebook are linked, then you have access to both in this Meta Business Suite app.
Okay.
So I tell clients, like, if you're going to do Facebook, then you might as well do Instagram, because you can post to both at the exact same time. You can schedule to both at the same time. And even using this app, you can post, you can schedule different things on the different on the different platforms. If they say they really want to try TikTok, then I say, I don't do TikTok, but I can definitely recommend you a really great TikTok social media manager. Yeah.
So I was going to ask that question because I know you have young kids.
Yeah.
And they're probably way more up on the TikTok-y thing, the tiki-talk, as those
the
older generations call it. So do they help you?
No, because they're my kids. They don't like doing anything I ask them to do.
I'm thinking, what a great opportunity, an area for them to expand into your business is be like, you take over that TikTok division.
Oh, it really is. And I've even offered to pay them. And they're like, no, because TikTok's fun and you're going to suck all the fun out of it if you make me work.
Welcome to adulting.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we can't get off that ride. Yeah. So
yeah, no, we're on it. We are on it.
Yeah, so they're not really helpful.
Okay,
in that.
Well,
moving on
from the children working for you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I do want to talk about your involvement in the community. Our first guest was Samantha Trivy, and she is a big part of a project called the Oopsie Project.
Yes.
And you are the creator of the Oopsie Project. So bring us into where you started that, how that came about, how that created. Because I think it's a fantastic idea.
So my social media business, I was doing it one day, scrolling Facebook, and there was a post from my OBGYN office that was asking on Facebook that if anybody had these Ipsy bags that they weren't using, if they could bring them into their next appointment. So at the time I had an Ipsy subscription and I was like, oh yeah, I got like 6 of these things that are like thrown underneath the bathroom sink. So I took them in and I was like, oh, I saw this thing on Facebook. You want my Ipsy bags? And the office manager was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, why? Like, if I can ask, why are you collecting these? And she's like, well, and this is the office manager. She's like, well, I'm taking them and I'm filling them with feminine products. And then I'm delivering them to all the school nurses in the area because otherwise when a girl goes to them and says, I started my period and I don't have anything, they have to like pay out of their pockets. Like either the kid has to call home and say, Mom, Dad, can you come pick me up? Yeah. Or they give them product that they went to Walmart and bought themselves out of their own pocket. So, and we know school nurses do not make that much money. Like they are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to school faculty and healthcare workers. Wow. So I was like, oh, that's really great. Can I help you? Because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like you're taking their expense, like the expense that they're out of pocket expensed,
right? Which
is amazing of you, but you're putting that all on yourself. Like you're spending the money that they would have spent, and you're not rich. So let me see if I can help. I own a social media advertising company, and I always have clients looking for ways to advertise. So let me think about it. And she's like, oh yeah, please. I'll take all the help you want to give. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, at the very least I can ask my friends if they have Ipsy bags. So I made a post and I asked if they have Ipsy bags, and it got shared like a ridiculous amount of times, and strangers were inboxing me like, I have Ipsy bags, you can pick them up. So I was literally driving all around the east side of Volusia County, like picking up bags from front porches, from mailboxes, like everywhere. And I'm like, okay, well, we got to do more than that. Because then people started saying, well, can I buy products for it? And then I had these social media clients, and my realtor client, her name is Alexis Bentley. Best realtor ever, but anyway.
Nice.
She was like, well, why don't you create a Facebook group? And then like, I'll write you a $200 check today. I'll be the ad in the Facebook group. So that's, it's a tax write-off for advertising.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, let's do that. And it like snowballed from there. Like it was our very first like stuffing party. My friends came over and we drank wine in my living room and filled bags. And we filled like 250 bags, and we were so excited because that was like 4 schools that we got to deliver to.
Yeah, and then it's fantastic. Yeah, what I love about that is there is not one female in this world that is excluded from that happening too, because they're just not on a schedule, on your calendar, on a date that you know when that's going to happen to you. And you're so young. And I remember being like scared. I don't think I even told my mother. I was like, what's going on? This is great. I'm going to die. This is crazy. But to be able to offer that kind of comfort in school and.
Yes. And I love that we offer it, whether it's the very first time the girl's gotten their period and doesn't know what to do, or she's in high school and she just forgot to bring product or didn't think about refilling her oopsie bag from the last time. I mean, my daughter has sent me a text and has been like, Mom, I started my period and I don't have anything. I'm like, you don't have your oopsie bag?
Don't let that get out.
Go see the school nurse.
And that way they're not embarrassed. The bag, it's just that's the best part.
Yeah, it is. It's
no one's gonna know.
We make sure that we say it has to be opaque, like not see-through.
Right.
And they come in like every kind of like style and color and theme. Like they can go to the nurse and say, oh, I like the Dallas Cowboys, I'll have that bag. Or they can say, oh, this one has a pretty sparkly unicorn, I want that one. Like it really doesn't matter. Their personality is somewhere in one of those bags.
I love that. In fact, just the other day I was scrolling on Temu because that's what you do when you have time on your hands. And I called Sabrina and go, oh my gosh, I found these bags. They're perfect for the Oopsie project. They're 67 cents. I put like 10 of them in my cart. I mean, I'll put more. That sounds cheap, $6.70. But I thought of you guys. And if that word just gets out and if you can make it national and just have a spot to send them to and mail them to, that's
future
fantastic.
plans.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you also provide for boys too. Correct?
Yes. So, well, kind of, sort of. So with doing these Oopsie bags, we got a request from an elementary school. And she was like, hey, we do this it's called the Always Changing Period program or something like that. Not period. Always Changing Puberty program. And she's like, it's to all the fifth graders. Do you think you can give us Oopsie bags for all the fifth graders? And we said, yeah, that's no problem. And she's like, okay, well, we also like to give the boys and girls deodorant because we show them like right then and there, like this is what you do with the deodorant. This is where you put it. This is how much you use. And I said, and at that time we were like super, super new. And I'm like, well, we don't have any deodorants. But let me see what I can do. So another realtor that I know, she like hopped up right away, Sydney Reagan, who does a ton of stuff for the community. And she's like, I'll donate the deodorants. You donate the Oopsie bags. I'll donate the deodorants and we'll do this together. So we both delivered to the school that was asking, and then obviously word got out, and they were like, okay, well, can you do it for all the schools in Volusia County? All the elementary schools, so every fifth grader.
Right.
And we were like, sure. And then Seminole County was like, hey, if you do this for Volusia, can you do it for us too? And we were like, sure.
I think that's fantastic. So if our listeners are wanting to donate somehow, where can they donate financially or can they donate products?
All the above.
Okay. I'm sure you have a website.
Yes. So it's called oopsieproject.org. Super easy to remember. And there's like a little hamburger menu that you can pick, donate. You just click donate and then it takes you to our Amazon wish list, all of our drop-off locations. Because if you have those bags, thrown in your closet or underneath your bathroom sink, we have drop-off locations, so businesses, brick and mortar businesses, all over Volusia and Seminole County that you can bring your bags into, and then they'll get to us. So you don't have to mail them, you don't have to ship them, you don't have to. The best part about this project for me is that we love monetary donations. We do, because we do have bills. Like I've said, since we became a nonprofit, I was like, holy moly, like nonprofits have to profit in order to stay.
Yes, to keep you working constantly.
Yeah. I mean, there's always bills. There's always, we get a lot of discount stuff. We don't have to pay sales tax, but at the end of the day, like we still we have to pay to store everything. We have to pay for the U-Haul truck rentals to deliver. We have to pay for the venues when we have stuffing parties. We have to pay for bags. We have to pay for pens. We have to pay for pamphlets, for flyers, for business cards. Like everything costs money.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are grants that we apply to that you have to pay to apply for these grants. I mean, it's minimal. It's like $50,
but
and then
still,
maybe you'll win 5,000.
Never knew that.
But
me neither.
Yeah, and I think it's because they want to make sure that either you're serious or that you really do have like that financial the paper trail.
Yes.
You're paying with a check from your 501c3, so it's legit. But even to file with the state of Florida, like it costs us money to do that every year. It's so we do love the financial donations, but I love this project because you can help us for free. You can help us by going into our Facebook group called the Oopsie Project of Central Florida and literally sharing a post, because even if you're not in a financial situation to be able to help, maybe one of your Facebook friends is.
Yes.
And then they see the post
Absolutely.
and they're like, okay, I'll donate money. I'll donate from the Amazon wish list. And I know a lot of people, they're kind of like, I don't like giving money, and that's fine. I'm not positive that my money is going to be used in a way that I want it to be used. That's fine. Go to our Amazon wish list and buy one pack of pads. Like it doesn't matter. If you spend $6, that's $6 more of product that we didn't have.
That you didn't have in the first place. True.
We're fine. We're fine with that. We have we just rolled out a subscription thing. So for $13.25 a month, you pay for that, and that essentially it sponsors like one girl for the month, because we say the national average of a period for 1 month is $13.25 is what it costs a girl to go through her period every month. So by doing that little Netflix subscription cost,
yes,
you're affording period products for a girl.
And for some people who maybe don't have that support at home,
exactly,
or any way of getting that type of support.
So I grew up kind of privileged, if I got my period and I tell my dad, like, Dad, I need tampons, and he'd just go to the store and buy me tampons. There was no embarrassment there. There was no you got to go do it. There was nothing. But through doing this project, I have run into so many people who have said, my very best friend was like, yeah, when I was a girl, I was 15 and I started working at Eckerd Drugstore, and my mom was like, good, you work at Eckerd Drugstore. You can buy your own stuff. I'm not doing anything for you anymore. So and heartbreaking stories like that
absolutely.
the parents don't care enough to make sure that their bathroom cabinets are stocked. If a girl starts their period and they don't have anything at home, then their mom's like, just use toilet paper. Well, that doesn't make a girl feel special.
Yeah, that doesn't. It's not clean, and yes, there's other problems that can arise from that.
So knowing that they can go to the nurse, and the nurse says, pick out any bag you want. If you like pink, get a pink bag. If you like black, get a black bag. And whatever you need, it's in there. And we'll do bulk donations. So if a school is going through a rapid amount at a rapid pace, then we'll give them back stock of pads and panty liners and tampons. That way they have it there. So they're not, so when the same girl comes in month after month, they're not getting an oopsie bag. They can get pads. Okay, here's a couple pads. Put it in the bag that you got from us last month, so that you have it for next month.
Okay. So. I'm wondering if just even my thought process out there for you, and I came from a very small cow country town, and we had the nurses and the office staff very involved with types of community stuff like that. I know the schools down here in Florida are way bigger than that. They're mini colleges.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, is there an opportunity for the schools to maybe be a drop-off spot? Because
anybody
maybe some
can
people
be
listening, that if they walked into a school today in the nurse's office or the main office and said, I have some of these bags I'd like to drop off for the Oopsie Project, they know what you're talking about, and that would eventually get to you, you think?
I would hope so.
Okay.
But because we don't have a way, so all the school nurses know that they can get a hold of us. In fact, I just reached out to the head school nurse of Volusia County and said, hey, we have a ton of Oopsie bags. So can you send an email to all your nurses, every nurse in the Volusia County schools, and let them know? Because nurses change. One nurse will leave and another one will be hired, and they might find these bags in their classroom but not know where they came from. Mm-hmm. Can you just let them know if they need more let us know, or they just forget. Like they give out the last bag and they're like, oh, I gotta order more. And it slips.
Meanwhile, they have nothing to be able to get.
Yeah. So she did. And within like 24 hours, we had probably 13 or 14 schools reach out and say, oh, we do need more oopsie bags. So I wish there was a way to just send out a mass email to like every teacher and every nurse and every admin person in all of Volusia County or Seminole County schools and say, hey, we have oopsie bags, or hey, can you do a collection drive or something like that? But I know their resources are spread thin, so I don't like asking anything of them. If a school came to us and said, hey, we want to hold a collection drive, hey, we want to be a drop-off location, then absolutely, we will give you the flyer to post in the school. If you could send the PTA can send an email or put it on your Facebook page, that's fine. I'm totally fine that our delivery drivers are constantly like, is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can do? Like they want to volunteer and they want to help us. So they would go out and collect whatever the school has collected.
Well, you hear that, all those administrators out there listening, or friends of administrators. If you've heard about it, then let people know.
Yeah. So on the website, it does give drop-off locations for the area, which I am very honored to be one. So at my studio, you can bring it. That's in Ormond at 600 South Young Street, Suite 11B. And you can either drop it off if I'm there. If I'm not there, I have 2 chairs outside that people drop some stuff off. But I'm very honored to be one of those. But they can go on the website, too, if they're not in Ormond or wherever, and find...
There's like this really cool little interactive map that has dots on every single drop-off location spot.
Perfect. That's
well, Gina, I don't know how you do everything that you do with all the keeping up with the social media and the people that you have to work on their social media for them and all of this Oopsie project.
I would be bored if I didn't have all this, I feel like.
I'm sure there's a ton more that you do too, that you're just like, oh yeah, and this and that. This. But you're definitely a big part of, look at the big change you've made in the community that you're in.
You.
So
thank you so much.
And you're making big changes to your clients' communities.
Yeah.
With your knowledge.
I want every like small local business to be so successful. Like I've had clients tell me like, I've had to hire more people because of you. And that that's the greatest compliment I can
fabulous.
Get. Yes. I'm sorry I'm making you spend more money in payroll, but yay.
Right. See, I told you I was worth it, right?
Yes, that's exactly. Yep.
Yes. I am truly honored to have met you. I'm not sure how long ago, to be honest.
You.
Huge. A couple of years maybe.
It's been a few years.
But yeah, you're a truly inspirational woman.
Thank you.
Every day of your life too, not just a certain amount of time and then it goes away. So
very giving.
Consistency.
Consistency is super key, and you have mastered that. So thank you so much for all you do for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for Biz Bestie.
You're welcome.
It's an amazing community with business owning women who
we just all work together.
Yeah.
No matter what.
There's encouraging each other and getting each other's, stories out there and whatever they do, their products, and just
Absolutely. It's just an extension of stuff. Every women's group, what I mean?
It's great networking, but it's even better networking when it's people who you feel a connection with. So it's not just going to a networking meeting. It's actually considering these other business owners friends or besties.
Yes,
besties, yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you can never have too many besties.
No.
Just say you can't.
I agree.
Everybody has a different, exactly.
Yes.
You have your spot that you fill.
Yeah. I'm a Libra, so I don't have a favorite anything. When people say, what's your favorite color? I'm like, I don't have one. I'm a Libra. Like there's different colors for different situations. There are different besties for different situations.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
there are.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Gina.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate your time, and everyone out there, do your thing. Help each other. Help the little ones coming in to womenhood.
It takes a village.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. So we hope we polished your crown.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, we do. Thank you for coming, and remember, don't let anyone dull your sparkle.
Yes.